A very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is our first official Sunday class on Surangama Sutra, which is a continuation from previous Thursday night. Let us compose our mind, develop the Saddha Virya, that mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无文殊菩萨，南无文殊菩萨。南无文殊菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวาพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนามัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิDutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami Panati pata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Kamesu miccācaraเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุสาวาดาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาดัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิกันนาสารปะดิเทนะดิเพนะตมาตังสีนะติโลกาติปังสัมบุตตังปูจายามิตโมโนดังกันดาสัมบารยุตเตนะดุเปนะหังสุขังหินะปูจายเยปูจานิยังตังปูจาปัจจานะโมตมังวันนากันดากุโนเปทังเอตังกสุมาสันตติน โพ Pujayami Munindasa Siripada Sarorohe Pujemi Buddhang Kasumena Nena Punnena Matena Cha Hotu Mokhang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tata Yati Vinasa Bhavang Adivase Tuno Bhante Paniyang Parika Pitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Motamang Adivase Tuno Bhante Pale Parika Pitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Motamang Adivase Tuno Bhante Bojanang Parika Pitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Motamang. Now we shall chant the Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness of ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses all the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just as in the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or power, sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, we shall pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujemi, Dhammang Pujemi, Sanghang Pujemi. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which is heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddammang Munirajasa สุนันตุสักขโมกขดังดัมมสวนันคาโลอายังบาดันตาดัมมสวนันคาโลอายังบาดันตาดัมมสวนันคาโลอายังบาดันตานะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะอิทธิเปโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธวิจาจารณะสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตรปุริสดัมมสารติสัตตาเทวามนุสานังบุตโตภะคะวะติสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันติติโกอาคาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปานัยโกปัจจตังเวดิตาโบหิโนหิติสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยายาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยาดิดังจัตตาริปุริสยุคานิอัตตปุริสภูกาลาเอสาภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนโยปาหุเนโยดาเกเนโยอัญจาลิการเนโยอนุตตรังปุญญังเกตังโลกาสาติสาธุสาธุสาธุ So for those who have the text, is on the page Romanized number XIX, part 2, the nature of visual awareness. So this is a continuation from the earlier part 1, where the Buddha explained under his sharing that there are two minds that normally human beings fail to realize. They are only familiar with the normally accepted normal type of mind, which is the mundane mind, the thinking mind. So that part, most people are familiar because since we are born as a living being, for our case is a human being, we have the sixth sense basis within us and the consciousness that is trapped within. Then, as I explained, like the physics experiment, upon contact, the light bulb lights up. So the lighting up of the light bulb is like when you on the switch, the current go through. Then if the battery is in a functioning position, then the light bulb also is a functioning position. then through the connectivity of the wire, it triggers off the natural response of that light bulb being lightened up. So that lighting up of the light bulb is like it makes the mind conscious. So depending on the sense basis, it can make you conscious of what you see through your eye as an organ. So the light bulb is like an organ. Then it can also make you conscious of what you hear through the hearing organ, which is the ear, EYE. So the light bulb, the time, behave like the ear. Then when it's the nose, you have the what they call smell consciousness, tongue, taste consciousness. Then your bodily tactile is your sensation, or we call it the tactile consciousness. Then the last one is your brain. Your brain has all the accumulated memories, knowledge, views, opinion, conditioning, belief system. Then whatever you come to experience through your consciousness, through your mental concoction or mental entanglement, we call it, through your sakkayaditthi, wrong view, and also wrong perception based on your delusion, lacking in understanding the way things are, or the Dhamma way. So all this trigger off what we call thought activity, or we call thought consciousness. When you are at the brain, you make contact with the brain, then the physical experiment is the same. The light bulb lights up. So the lighting up is like you become conscious of thought process, means thought consciousness. Instead of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, this one is a thought as an organ, thought consciousness. So when thought consciousness arises, most of the time what happens is the perception aggregate, they work very fast. Because through our knowledge, through our conditioning, belief system, our learning, we learn a lot of things. And through this knowledge, whatever we perceive through our senses or through our thought process, we can perceive them. Whether it's for our memory or our thought, can be mental formation or external object that we see, we can perceive. Or whatever external object that we receive through the hearing organ, we can perceive it, like my voice, or sound, music, vibration, even the vibration from the aircon, the fan, moving car, passing car, their horn and all those things. Then in the quiet morning, the chirpings of the birds, the insects, the running water, the nature's vibration, all this you can detect, you can pick it up through your perception aggregate. So perception is the sixth aggregate, like what I shared with you all at the last Thursday sharing, the 8 type of consciousness. The first 5 are our basic sense law consciousness. Seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smell, taste, tactile. And the 6th one is our thought consciousness. So this thought consciousness is a common denominator. Whatever thing you want to perceive, whether through your eye, your ear, your nose, your tongue, your tactile, or your thought, you need the perception aggregate. That's why that becomes the 6th aggregate, or what we call the 6th consciousness. Sorry, not the 6th aggregate, 6th consciousness. So this 6th consciousness is basically mental perception. Listen properly, mental perception. So the sixth consciousness is mental perception. So whenever the mind, that is your mundane mind, this one, the mundane mind, the thinking mind, whenever this one perceives, the sixth consciousness arise. And these six consciousness are like the physics experiment. It arises naturally through causes and conditions, dependent originating. Without the senses, without the sense basis and the consciousness and the life force, this thing cannot animate into a 5 aggregate of form and mind, a living being or a human being. For our case, it's a human being, or the common name is living being. Understand? From here, you manifest. Through your 5 aggregate of form and mind, means your thought process, you created a phenomenal world of consciousness. Like the Buddha say, all this thought consciousness is vijnana and its content, which is the thought. So this is the one that can create illusion for you to see. That's why the analogy for vijnana, that consciousness with its content, is like a magician. A magician is an illusionist that create illusion. So what the Surangama Sutra's teaching is all about is for you to understand that this is not you. The 5 aggregate of form and mind is not you. It's dependent originating. That's why it is impermanent. It goes the way of nature. It follows the pancha niyama. You attach and cling, and one thing's your way, the universal characteristic of suffering arise. And because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent and changing entity that you can cling on to and hold on to and say, this is me, this is I, forever unchanging. Cannot. The form and mind goes the way of nature. When the condition for it to arise ceases, it disperses. Then who are you? What are you? Every segment of the form and mind you come is a different segment. And every segment dissolves. Understand? That's why non-self. Empty, not what you think. He know you, he know me. Every segment over the past millennium, billions and billions of form and mind you have taken birth. Which one is you? None of them are you. See that clearly, understand that clearly. And from there, all this manifestation through your seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smell, taste, thought consciousness, that you entangle yourself with the sankhara, sanya, thought activity. This is where the conditioned world of delusion is. This is where it entices you and it creates the luring. It lure and entices living beings to grasp, cling, and get themselves entangled through suffering. Unnecessary suffering. That's why I call it the chaotic phenomenal world or existential world. Without the Dhamma, it's very chaotic to live here, to stay here. So the teaching about the Surangama Sutra is for you to understand that these are all mind-made, dependent originating, condition arising, empty, not real. If you deludedly take this as real, as existing, as what it is, then you get yourself entangled through that great avijja, which is mainly sakkayaditthi. But if you realize that you are not this and not this, then you can silence your mind, your mundane thinking, and realize this. Then you are back to your true mind. And this is where your true mind is. Understand? This is where your mundane mind is. So Surangama Sutra is about understanding that this two mind is different. But from here, everything starts. You understand? Without this, all this cannot manifest. That's why you can recall in the early day, I used to share with you all, you need a karmic nature to come to this existential world. The karmic nature will create the causes and conditions for the form and mind to arise. And this form and mind is just a vehicle and a tool for you to arise. But it's not you. But because you have this form and mind, it can connect you back to your true mind and back to your original nature or true nature. Or they call it the oneness nature or the source. And because of that, existence becomes very difficult to comprehend, understand, and live. So because of this complication, living beings, every time when they are born, they forgot that they have this pure awareness nature, which is their true mind. They straight away entangle with the thought process because they are so conditioned over the millennium of birth and death. Every time they are born, like a baby for our case, when you are newly born, your brain is empty. That's why there is no thought. There is direct seeing, pure, but no use. Because that baby cannot understand. But the moment is conditioned into knowledge, like the baby get conditioned into learning, accumulating knowledge, everything. Then it develop into a complicated, what we call memories. So this memory, which is just a bundle of knowledge and memories, views, opinion, and conditioning, they believe that is what they are, and they are defined by that. In fact, that is just the secondary aspect of the form and mind. It has nothing to do with your true nature. And that one is all consciousness and its content, images only, no reality. But living being cannot see. And to them, this is so real, this is so real. And there are so much things inside there. That's why it lures them, it entices them, and it creates what we call the world of existence. So this world of existence is what we call a conditioned world. Where without condition, this existential world doesn't arise. It arises through causes and conditions. And the first causes and condition is karmic. And this karmic accumulate to become a nature. Then from there, samsara, birth and death, take its process. That's why in the Surangama Sutra is explained. The first thought of ignorance, that first thought, the primordial thought, that thought is inconceivable, the Buddha said. Inconceivable is the beginning of the first thought that actually stirs this pure awareness nature. From here it started. And initially the first thought is just very primordial, primitive, like very, they call it the primordial darkness, dull emptiness. Understand? It's like this pure awareness nature, which is completely empty, just pure awareness nature, but the stirring created a dim darkness inside, and from there it started. It keep on evolving until it develops the four elements. From the four elements, it develops the continent, the star system, everything through energy, through consciousness. That's why the Buddha said, mind make our day. This is the mundane mind, mano. This mano, I better write it down. So this one is the mundane mind. The Buddha said, this one is the forerunner of all things. This one is chief. When this mano arise, all things arise. That's why in the Mahayana teaching, they use this as what they call everything arises from the mind. 一切唯心造 means 心造成的. Everything is created by mind. Whatever that arises is from this mind, the mano. So when you see this, then you will understand the Surangama teaching. Why Ananda was not able to understand it. He thought this is his true mind, the thought process. He thought what he perceived is the reality. That's why when the Buddha asked him, where is your mind? He kept on postulating. The mind is inside his body. The mind is outside his body, in between, and all those nonsense. What he was referring to was this mundane, dependent, originating one, not the eternal, unmoving, the true mind, the silent mind. And this is the one very few people can realize. If you don't do pure awareness-based meditation, you cannot realize this. You cannot know that there is such a nature inside there. And you cannot see that movement. From here to here is very fast, like a lightning flash, very fast. That's why the Buddha said, within the movement of a lightning flash, that split second, if you have the nature within, billions of consciousness has arisen. Billion in the Abhidhamma is mentioned. Billions of consciousness. But it moves so fast. And our nature is capable of comprehending all those things. But because you thought this is you, that's why everything is like deludedly grabs onto and cling onto. And we only understand the thought. Beyond thought, you cannot understand. And what we need to realize as the Dhamma understanding is the pure awareness nature's direct seeing, which is beyond thought, beyond time. Beyond time is no thinking. Time here refers to psychological time, not what we call physical time. Physical time is a measurement you cannot change. But psychological time, you can decide whether to arise or not. That's why we call it a timeless. When thought doesn't move, then you realize the true mind. This true mind is no longer there once you are lost in thought. You understand? Because this is the movement, the creation part. So the movement from here to here is mental time, psychological time. When you start to think, when you start to get lost in all your thought, activity and movement. That's why Sankara Sanya are the main aggregates of thought. Means within the five aggregate, perception brings the external form into the mind. So within the mind, there is only the feeling aggregate, perception and Sankara. But feeling and perception is part of Sankara. So basically, it's just Sankara. That's why the Buddha used the word Sabbe Sankara Anicca. Sabbe Sankara Dukkha. Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. Or Anattito. Anatta means, why he used the word Dhamma? Dhamma means whether it's conditioned or unconditioned. Both are also not a permanent, unchanging entity that you can grasp onto, cling onto, hold onto, and say, this is you, this is me. That's why it's anatta. Means sabbe dhamma. Not only sankhara anatta, dhamma, even the unconditioned, is anatta. This one is also not a being, not you. Understand? Because this one is just a nature, pure awareness nature. Like your spiritual nature, when you develop all the perfection, wisdom and understanding through the direct seeing, the spiritual nature accumulate and arise. Then when you come as a living being through the karmic process, if you are a bodhisattva, you inherit this when you connect. If not, the karmic process will decide and dictate. But because you also have your spiritual nature's past, this form of mind as it grew up, even before you connect, it will have its unique characteristic. And the form of mind, the being that come, will know. That's why before I connect in 1989 when I was young, a lot of things show it to me, because this thing actually, when they say you are born of your karma, as your karma, supported by your karma, and you are what you are because of your karma. But all your karma, not only the negative part, understand? No? The good and wholesome part also there. So your wholesome one, born of spiritual nature's understanding, is also here. And from there, it supports you. That's why before I even connect and inherit that one, that main thing, I already can see the sign. I already knew this life, my nature is different. And there are many things that show it to me, for me to learn, for me to understand. So that when I grew up, all this will connect and reveal what it is meant to be. So this is the whole secret of existence, creation. And if you can understand this, you can understand the Surangama Sutra and all the other Mahayana Sutta easily. Okay? We go back. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now I will read on. Now that the existence of a true mind has been established, the Buddha undertakes next to explain, in dialogue with Ananda, a way of cultivation, samadhi. Or here in English, they use the word practicing. So in fact, you cannot practice to be wise. You cannot practice samadhi. Samadhi is a understanding, a realization. You need to cultivate the understanding to realize it. Okay, I read again. Now that the existence of the true mind has been established, the Buddha undertakes next to explain, in dialogue with Ananda, a way of cultivating samadhi that leads to the realization of the true mind. See, it is to help Ananda realize the true mind. It is to point out his delusion, his sakkaya deity, his wrong perception of the way things are. So the Buddha begins by bringing out or bringing our attention to the simple fact that we are aware. Yeah. I think this one Ananda cannot understand. You see, here you remember that book I label as a title. What is the difference between consciousness and awareness? This is the one. So the Buddha begins by bringing our attention to the simple fact that we are a conscious being with awareness within. That is the understanding. You understand the difference or not? You are a conscious being. Why? Well, as a human being, we have the senses. We are capable of becoming conscious. Conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactile, feel and think. That's why you are a conscious being, capable of consciousness. But that is not the real you. That is the manifestation from the pure awareness nature. You understand? Here we have the consciousness trapped inside, the sense basis within the form through the karmic process. Then we have the life force, that trigger of the heartbeat that pumps the heart, that created the causes and condition for this life force to animate this human being, or so-called living being, into a fine aggregate of form and mind, into a living being. For our case, it's a human being. So now you understand, you are a conscious being, capable of being conscious, then you have awareness within. At that part, a lot of cultivators don't understand. That's why the Buddha here used the word. Bring your attention to the simple fact that we are aware. See? That part Ananda cannot understand. Taking visual awareness as the paradigm, he examined awareness through a series of illustrative, how to pronounce this word? Vinekna. Several of them involving other speakers. He demonstrates that though things move in and through and out of the field of our vision or visual awareness, the essence of our awareness itself does not move. This one by now you should understand. You can understand now. Yeah? Your pure awareness nature, that pure seeing through the seeing consciousness, the vision, that one never move, understand? No? That one is ever shining, just aware. All the movement is your sankhara, your perception, understand? Your mental activity that you create. Here you persist, then from perception you create thought, thinking. You stir your mind, you create the emotion, the reaction, the whole activity of thought process and mind, and get yourself entangled. You grasp, you cling, you hold. Through what? The three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. Where you think you exist. You believe this is you. That's how the egoic mind arises. That's how the ego manifests. The atta. And because you think you exist, you think you are real, you think you can own things, possess things, and have things. That's why you have attachment, you have clinging, grasping, craving. And all this lead to selfishness, greediness, desire, lust, the evil roots of greed, very strong. Then things that you don't like, you want to push away. That's why you develop the negative craving, the hatred, the envy, the jealousy, the dislike. All this manifests. So here the Buddha said, taking the visual awareness as a paradigm, he examined awareness through a series of illustrative vinecs, several of them involving other speakers. Then he demonstrated that though things move in and through and out of the field of our vision, you can see it happening in there, but that movement is not your true awareness nature. Your awareness nature never changes. All those that he described within the field of visual awareness, this one is all the manifestation of your five aggregate, understand? So all this movement is what we call in and through and out of your field of vision, because you deludedly grasp and cling onto the consciousness part, which is not the pure awareness. The pure awareness, no word, no concept, nothing. It's just that awareness nature. That one is forever there, and that one can see, the direct seeing. But it does not command. Understand? It does not chatter. It does not try to get involved in things. Nothing. It's just silent, completely silent. And through that silent nature, pure awareness nature, it can understand. It can awaken. It can insight into phenomena. And this is the big difference. That's why he said, he demonstrates that though things move in and through and out of the field of our vision, our visual awareness, but the essence of our awareness, means our pure awareness nature itself, does not realize that. When you are without thought, who are you? What are you? That nature, you cannot even use a word to describe it, but that is just that nature, understand or not? And that one doesn't move. But from there, it arises perception. It arises thought activity, emotion, everything. That's why everything that arises within the phenomenal world is from the five aggregates of form and mind. And that one is the one that creates a lot of movement and activity. That's why that one is the mano, dependent originating condition arising. But the pure awareness nature is completely silent and tranquil. The word is tranquil, still. It has got no concept, nothing, no movement, no activity at all. See that, realize that, and stabilize that understanding. Then you will understand all this teaching very fast. So here, what the Buddha is trying to explain to Ananda is the essence. He used the word essence of awareness, or sometimes I use it as our essence of mind, understand, which is your true mind. The essence of mind doesn't need sense data, understand? Like on a quiet night, yeah? When let's say all the vibration, all the thing that can trigger off the sense data as vibration for us to hear. No more. No more means what? You got no more hearing consciousness, understand not? But yet there is an essence of mind that is aware of the silence within nature. Without sense data. What is that? That is your essence of mind, your true mind, true awareness nature. It doesn't need sense data, understand not? Means what? It is not dependent originating, understand not? And if that is not real, then what is real? Understand not? Because our conditioned world is dependent originating. Condition, you need causes and conditions, sense data. But what is it that is capable of realizing the silence within nature when there is no sense data? Understand? That is your true mind, your silent mind. No word, nothing. It's just aware. But through the awareness, you can perceive sound. You can perceive the silence of nature. And the silence of nature doesn't need causes and conditions, no sense data. That's why that is your true nature. And that nature is capable of aware before the knowing. You remember? I define sati as what? Awareness before the knowing, perception. Before you perceive. The moment you perceive, you are out of the second circle. You are into the third circle. That's why the pure awareness nature is just a nature. Aware. Finish. Whatever move from there is no longer your true mind. It's creation. That's why in the video that Eng sent out, the more longer version of the Surangama Sutra is mentioned inside there. Even the one that believes there is a Xiu Xing Zi, a cultivator, there is a thought, that's all. There is somebody to be enlightened, there is a thought. Somebody who wants to realize the enlightenment, there is still a thought. That's why in the Maya Sutta, they say, when you meditate, when you see the Buddha, kill the Buddha. You remember? 见佛 Yeah lah, 魔来魔斩, 佛来佛斩. Because that is an illusion, that's all. That is not the real one. The real Buddha is the nature. You cannot kill a Buddha. That's all. What I mean, not the physical Buddha. That's all. The Buddha is an embodiment of what? His perfection, his wisdom. And that one nobody can take away from him. That's all. That's why you don't go and foolishly when you meditate. That's why this Surangama Sutra got the 50 Divine Samadhi to tell you all the fantastic meditation, whatever psychic phenomena, ability or manifestation of light or whatever, that is all mind-made, illusionary, thought-based. There is not that true awareness nature that is capable of insight, awakening, and realization. And ultimately what you realize is your own sakkayaditthi, your own delusion, your own avijja, your own foolishness. Where all this is not what you think. Nature's condition manifests this four circle. But within this four circle, 99.999% are illusionary. Do you realize or not? The bulk of this four circle, 99.999% is here and here. And here, no movement, nothing. Nothing to talk about. And here, lucky nothing to talk about. Then what is all this? You call life, you call existence, you call excitement. This is where everything manifests now, especially within this so-called civilization. So much thing that can lure you and make you so interested in. Especially you have the means, the money, I would say. The level of sensuality, I use the word sensuality, that can make you develop the sensual experience is fantastic. They come up with so much things, not only drugs now. Now it's a new form of drug, in the form of AI and all those things. They can really lure you and distract you and entice you and really actually create addiction in you, understand? And they can cause the psyche to actually become really deluded, and you can really become like completely lost in it. And this is what life, existence, and creation is. But the understanding of this is not easy. Most people are not able to penetrate this, where they cannot develop this awareness-based meditation to return to the silent mind, the pure awareness nature, the true mind. If they can't even be here, they cannot understand this movement. They believe this is all real. Every living being is real. And they fight among themselves, quarrel among themselves, all the unnecessary war, conflict, and misunderstanding, mistrust, the so-called world politics, world so-called humanities, whatever field of study that they may study. End of the day, they still argue, they still fight, they still get themselves entangled with a lot of enmity, misunderstanding. And through delusion, they develop more and more chaotic misunderstanding. That's why the world is full of misery, suffering, war everywhere. And even now, trade also become a big issue now. Tariff war. And who is fighting the tariff war? The leaders of the human mind that doesn't understand. And they fight over what? Consciousness, behavior, and movement. And they introduce so much fear, so much unnecessary, what they call the conscious mind suffering and misery. Because what the world fear most is insecurity, understand? When there is no security, when there is uncertainty, there is a lot of fear. And when human consciousness carry a lot of fear, they can do funny things. That's why our world not easy to have peace, not easy to have all this so-called the ideal world, or they call it utopia. Not easy. As long as human mind lack understanding of the Dhamma, the truth, there is no way there can be peace within the world of existence. Okay, we read on now. So I have finished that part, visual awareness. The essence of our awareness itself does not move. Okay, then we read on. Our awareness teams with object. This part is a creation, but is not itself an object. Even blindness, strictly speaking, does not mean that there is no visual awareness at all. So this one, unless those who have developed the stability of pure awareness nature, you cannot understand. Because this one, the awareness nature inside, even the blind person also have, understand? It doesn't depend on your organ to be aware. Awareness is all the time there. With your senses or without senses, it's always there. It's primordial, understand? Pure awareness nature. That nature was before everything. But the visual organ or whatever organ that allow you to manifest the consciousness, the respective consciousness, dependent on the organ, understand? If the organ is functional, then he can see. That's why when Ananda later on in the Surangama Sutra was confronted, he cannot answer. Then I explain it for you all to see and understand easily. Because seeing, there was a question asked. Who see? What see? Where we have the, what they call, habitual delusion, or say, I see lah. Fair or not? Logical or not? Then I ask you more precisely, who is the I? I lah, five aggregate of form and mind. You are not telling me anything. Then if I ask another question, without I, can you see? Oh, then you become like Ananda. Oh yeah, my eye see. Logical or not? Huh? Sure, my eye see. Without eye, I cannot see. Okay. Then, a dead man, died already. You open the eye, he can see or not? He cannot see. Understand? When you sometimes sleep, a lot of you sleep with the eye open. You haven't died, but do you see? You create a lot of dreams, but you never see. So I alone cannot see. Understand? Then what is seeing? Then who see? Then somebody try to be smart. They say, if my eye alone cannot see, then must be my mind. My mind see. More logical. True or not? My mind see. Without mind, I cannot see. But with mind alone, you also cannot see. Understand? A blind man has mind inside. Both the mind, true mind, and the dependent originating mundane mind. But how come he cannot see? Means, I alone don't see. Mind alone don't see. So what is seeing? Seeing is like the physics experiment, dependent originating. Causes and conditions must be there for it to manifest the light bulb, the lighting up. That is the seeing consciousness. But the direct seeing don't need that so-called organ, understand? You don't need. The direct seeing is seeing things as they are. Through the pure awareness nature, without thought, you can see. That's why he told Ananda, beyond the wall, beyond all the whatever that obstruct your visual, you can also be aware of, because that nature can penetrate all this. That is not the dependent originating mundane seeing, understand? So all this, if you don't go into it, you cannot understand. So if you understand, the eye alone cannot see. The mind alone cannot see. So seeing is a combination of what? A proper sense organ, which is the eye, in correct, I should say, in its normal functional condition. Then there is light, understand? Then there is a mind that can be conscious. And these three make contact, like the light bulb, it lights up. Then seeing consciousness appear, understand? So that consciousness that arises through the dependent originating condition arising is just a phenomenon created through causal same condition. And that seeing is mundane seeing, understand? Mundane seeing means what? Based on your knowledge, based on your perception. That's why 看山是山. Because conditioning is, you say mountain. That is the English word. San is the Mandarin word. Whatever language you use. But that is mundane seeing. It's through mundane knowledge I perceive. So this type of seeing is not the direct seeing. The direct seeing is no word. Understand? No concept, nothing. I see things as they are. Whether the organ is functioning or not functioning, as it is. No word, nothing. Then all the seeing is the same. You understand? That's why the direct seeing, they see things as they are. But of course, without the organ, that visual, that pure seeing is not there. But the essence of mind can be aware of that complete silence within nature. Understand? It is independent of organ. It don't need the organ to be aware. But that is the primordial. The pure awareness nature was there before the creation, before the thinking, before the manifestation of the mundane thinking and the mundane mind. That's why you have to go back to there to understand that what is real and what is unreal. Unreal is manifestation, creation, the movement from there. That's why the in, out, and through. That one is the mundane, outside. Inside, no movement. That's why 不生不灭不加不减. Nothing. That is all mundane activity. Okay? Now we go back. Okay. So, even blindness, strictly speaking, does not mean that there is no visual awareness at all. So I have gone through. Ask any blind person what he sees. The Buddha suggests to Ananda, and the blind person will answer that he sees darkness. In short, the essence of our awareness, our visual awareness, is unchanging. See? Unmoving or unchanging. It does not arise or disappear. In response to visual object that enters its scope, the same may be said of our awareness of sound, odor, flavor, means taste, smell, all those things. Yeah? Then tactile object or sensation, and also of our awareness of the thought within our mental, means our mundane thinking mind. The Buddha explained later that the essence, the essential capacity to hear is never absent, no matter whether there is sound or silence. See? Go to the note 18. See? No need. No. You have to go back very far. Okay. The logical implication is that given that our various awareness exists independent of their object, it ought to be possible to disentangle those awareness from the object. True or not? And to understand this is very easy if you have the awareness. Because how do you disentangle from the object? Huh? Means what? You see things as they are, isn't it? Then the object disappears, isn't it? But there is no word to describe it or perceive it, isn't it? That's why the awareness nature it ought to be possible to disentangle those awareness from their object. But the two are not related. That's not, it's not dependent oriented. The awareness was there before the perception. That's not, before the creation. So why you deludedly every time jump out? That's why awareness or sati is awareness before the knowing, the perception, the entanglement. Before the knowledge, that's why knowledge binds. Everything you hold in your memory binds you. The true mind has none of all this. Understand that. But you need the mundane mind to live life, understand? To arise within the conditioned world. And the conditioned world is full of this interplay of senses, understand? And you have to learn the language, the knowledge, everything that the civilization has evolved. Otherwise, you become completely out of existence. You cannot fit in. That's why you must have that memory. You must have that knowledge, everything. And yet you are not affected by it. Like the fifth patriarch told Hui Ning, isn't it? Hui Ning. This mind, you see, the mundane mind, you must learn to use it and yet not to be deceived by it. Understand? Means what? It has got no power over you. Understand? All the creation, the phenomenal world of consciousness and form, they collapse in front of you. They have no power. But it's mundane manifestation. Understand? Creation, illusionary. Understand? Like I explained, see form, the unreality of form, then see beyond form. Actually, how do you know it's a form? It's through your visual, mental consciousness, where you perceive it. Understand? Externally already dependent originating, condition arising, not a permanent, not so real. But how do you know it's a block cut or a table or whatever you perceive? It's through image in your brain, understand? This is just an image, even more unreal, understand? Not something tangible, physical. Understand? It's just that image through your perception, you name it, you label it, you created it. That's why you are the greatest magician. Understand? Open your eye, all exists really, real. This is the part where cultivator cannot penetrate, where they don't go through the pure awareness nature's cultivation. And without all this explanation and contemplation, you cannot stabilize your understanding unless you have your past. If not, it's not easy. That's why this Surangama Sutra sharing this time around is very different from the earlier sharing. Well, that time, Kayamitan already. Hardly anybody understands. At that time, how can I share? How can I teach? I can only share based on what people understand at that time. But now it's different. The Kayamita force and consciousness has evolved and become very different. And many of them can understand and can follow. Okay, so now you know how to disengage, or disentangle those awareness from their whatever object. Then we will be free to redirect our attention inward. Inward means what? 回光返照 means we reverse the light. We don't get lost in external, understand? What is external? Lure you, entice you, understand? Or in Hokkien is what? Lialu, understand? Catch you. That's why they lure and entice you. And you go outside, unless you have the Dhamma, you will be taken to Holland and never come back. You're taken for a ride, I tell you. And you don't know what is happening to the world and you do. Like in the Cantonese show, how you die also you don't know. Who killed you also you don't know. So all this is what the Surangama Sutra is all about. So all this is very interesting. then we will be free to redirect our attention inward, separate ourselves from the conditioned world. See, the external conditioned world is a phenomenal world, isn't it? Existential world, isn't it? And establish ourselves in the highest level of what is that samadhi? That your true mind, silent mind. That is the real samadhi, not the focusing, concentrating, the energy field, the psychic. Nothing to do with that. The pure awareness nature don't do anything. Your nature was already dead, but you forgot. You thought you must go outside and practice, concentrate, focus, and create. And you think that is meditation. And Krishnamurti called it paper tiger. No reality. All the psychic phenomena, all the fantastic manifestation of meditative experience, even like everything, like the 50 Dhyan Samadhi, they are all maras, out there to deceive you and to delude you, to telling you, you already special, you already enlightened. And all this is still within the field of thought, mind make a day. That's why like Pamasuri mentioned, Chan for, more like Chan for like, for Chan. Means don't believe the mundane perception and mundane creation. So when they say you can see Kuan Yin, you can see who, forget about it. That is not them. That is their nature manifesting for you to see. And that one is different. But that one is not the real so-called four Pusa. Four Pusa, they have their nature. Their nature can manifest through their vow, through their response. And then that one, cultivator of the way will know. That one is not an illusion. It's a message that comes. Understand? But you don't go and attach to that and cling and say, oh, Kuan Yin came and see me, I saw Kuan Yin, and Kuan Yin confirmed I am enlightened. You go and believe in all those, good luck to you. Normally they come with a message to help you in your cultivation and your progress. Or there are things that you need to fulfill through your vow or whatever. Or you are the appropriate chosen one to do certain work. Then they will manifest and come. That's why all this, you have to develop the Bodhisattva way, the extensive cultivation to go through, to understand, and to see clearly. Then you can filter the unreal from the real. Then you can understand what is possible and what is illusion, delusion, illusionary. So all these are very important. So I read again. Then you will be able to redirect your attention inward, separate yourself from the conditioned world, and establish yourself in the highest level of samadhi. That is the Surangama Samadhi. So the Surangama Samadhi is nothing special. Your true mind, your pure awareness nature. Stay there, and nothing can touch you. But you are not a being. Nothing die. But that is not a being. That nature is very powerful, but it's not a being. It cannot come out and live like it's not you. That's all. That's why it's anatta. But with the form and mind that come, you can have the causes and conditions to stay there. That you is not a being. Understand? That so-called you is the understanding of the awareness nature. When your mundane thinking cease, you are that. Understand? And that one got no word, no concept, nothing, cannot come out and live like. And you cannot say this is me, my Atman, understand? My higher self or whatever self. No, there is no such thing. That is the highest realization. That's why he called it the Surangama Samadhi. When you are there, that Samadhi actually excel all so-called thought-based, so-called samatha or samadhi. All those samatha, or what they call concentration, thought-based cultivation, they are no match for the Surangama Samadhi. But the Surangama Samadhi is the pure nature's awareness, nature's Samadhi. And that one doesn't move, doesn't get deluded, deceived. And that one can see things as they are, insight into phenomena, awaken, and develop the cessation to realize the oneness nature. That one can continue to cultivate and illuminate that nature until you have the extensive realization, perfection. That's why that cultivation is a supreme vehicle cultivation, which is very different from the normal sainthood way or even thought-based cultivation. Okay? Yeah. We go back to the notes. Oh, finish idea. Part 2 finish, huh? Okay, we go to the part 3. Huh? The matrix of the task common. You know what is the task common? Huh? The Buddha, yeah. He is the Tathagata. Tas is ta. Note 19, as we go down. Yeah, the Tathagata Gabala. Okay. The question remains, why would we want to stop paying attention to the conditioned world? The answer is twofold. First, our involvement in that world is, how to pronounce that word? Fraud. Fraud, not real. Oh, okay. Fraught with dissatisfaction and suffering. Full. Full and cluttered, very messy. And second, read that one. Second one is, the world is? Remember that. Realize that. So that you are not deluded by it. You are not enticed by it. So that you are not lure into it, understand? So that you cannot be deceived into thinking that they are real. So that you can, the word is detach through wisdom, not let go. Detach with wisdom. Let go no use. Only the deluded one try to let go. And without wisdom, you cannot let go. Detach with wisdom is the correct word. It is this second point that the Buddha now turned to. He began by declaring what? Read together. Fundamentally, everything that comes and go, listen, that comes and go, that comes into being and ceases to be, is within the true nature of the matrix of the task common. Means from your pure awareness nature, understand? That is what Hui Neng also came to realize. How amazing it is that true nature within is already complete. Is already, and all Dhamma arise from there. Nothing is apart. That's why all creation come from there. So this is another way of putting it. So he said, fundamentally, everything that comes and go. What comes and go? We go through. Consciousness come and go. Very good. Your feeling also is there. Come and go in there. Then, your pulse of life, your vibration, understand or not? Your heartbeat, come and go. Your footstep arise and pass away. Your breath. Everything is like that, understand or not? Every phenomena that manifests through causes and conditions, come and go, understand or not? Every moment of perception, come and go. That's why I say, feeling come and go, you never die. Understand or not? Consciousness come and go, you never die. Perception arise and pass away, you never die. Then, how can they be you? True or not? So here he's trying to tell you, fundamentally, everything that comes and goes, that comes into being and ceases to be, is within your true nature of the matrix of the thus come one, which is the wondrous, everlasting understanding, the unmoving, all-pervading, wondrous suchness of the one reality. And so, but there is your nature, the primordial, no word, nothing, the unconditioned. It's just that nature. So to understand this is to penetrate the true mind. So see the unreality of the phenomenal world of form and consciousness. All these are dependent originating, condition arising, understand? Whatever come and go is dependent originating, understand?生灭. That's why 不生不灭 is your true nature. Because it doesn't arise and it doesn't cease. Whatever that is unborn cannot die, understand? That's why it's the deathless element. It was not born. How can it die? It is the primordial, the first thing to arise through the nature's process. That's why they call it the original nature. But neither mean more the source. From there, everything arises. And to that, everything returns. And their understanding is beyond the thought, beyond the psychological thinking time. So all this, they are what the teachings are all about. But living being cannot understand. And to them it's like so abstract. like everything is so abstract, so esoteric. But no, when you understand, it is just the way it is. Actually very easy. It is how you really can settle down your mind and silence everything and return. If you don't know how to return, you will be off. Maybe beyond Holland, I don't know where you go. You go Holland, Holland, went the wrong route, and go beyond Holland. Don't know, lost until where. So all this is what the teaching is all about. Okay, we read on. He then undertakes to demonstrate the truth of this proposition by means of a series of syllogisms. He shows one by one that each of the elements of the physical world and each of the elements of our sensory apparatus is fundamentally an illusion. So this one we already know, like a magician, illusionist. But at the same time, this illusionary entity and experiences arise out of what is real. So the matrix from which all is produced is the matrix of the thus come one. So you can say this is your true nature, your whatever pure awareness nature within. It is identical to our own true mind. See the word true mind. And identical as well as to our fundamental nature of the universe and to the mind of all Buddha. Means the oneness, the source, everything. It is beyond the psychological, means the thought process. Wow, this English word I haven't heard before. Concatenation. Combine. Oh, combine. We call the self and beyond the mirage of. The word mirage is very good. Or sense data that we call the world. See? Existential world. You know what is a mirage or not? In the desert, you see through your visual, like there is an oasis, there is water. But actually it's an image, a reflection. It's a mirage. So perception is like where you keep on perceiving the wrong thing. Wrong perception before you have the Dhamma understanding. Part 4. the coming into being of the world of illusion. How it happened. Yeah. Now, Punya Maitreya Niputra, a senior disciple, posed question of his own. If, as the Buddha's logic had just shown, the primary elements of the psycho-physical world and the constituent elements of perception are illusory in the form, we experience them, while nevertheless being fundamentally identical with the matrix of the thus come one. How is it that they come into being as separate illusory entities? So this was the question. How is it that we forget our grounding in true reality and become lost in the maze of illusion? You understand the question, huh? This punya something is trying to say, if, like the Buddha say, we are here and we created all this, how come now we cannot understand that we are here? You understand? We are here, been lost for too long. It's like that. That's why, based on the Buddha's explanation, it's logical, isn't it? If I came out from here, I should know that I was this, isn't it? So the question is, how come I cannot know? Then how did all this started? He wanted the Buddha to name the word avijja. See, without avijja, you think you will get lost? You won't, either. But how did this first thought of ignorance arise? That's why inconceivable is the beginning of the first thought of ignorance that conditioned this movement. He said, don't try to go and think and understand it. Even the Buddha also advised you, inconceivable is the first thought of ignorance that conditioned humanity to fall and move. And without the extensive cultivation of the Bodhisattva with the supreme vehicle to realize that, you think you can understand. A great being don't come and teach, you think you can understand. You go and read the Surangama Sutra yourself. You will be very confused, I tell you. Even a lot of great teacher or master, they fail to have that understanding. But it's not easy, this topic. It's not really easy. That's why when I heard the request from Padmasuri, I said, I got conditioned already. That's why I agree. Then I knew it's going to be different this time. The earlier few sharing I didn't complete the thing because, as I explained, hardly anybody understand. So at that time, also maybe meant to be, but that time was too early. A lot of Kayamita were not ready at that time. Okay, we go back. I have to end already, 4:36 already. We have to go into meditation. Okay, I just finished all this. How is it that we forget our grounding in true reality and become lost in the maze of illusion? Now you understand this sentence, right? So in dialogue with Punya Maitreya Niputra, the Buddha explained that everything flows from our initial error in dividing reality into self and others. So this is Sakaya Ditti, understand? Because you think you real, you think you exist. This process begins with what the Buddha called adding understanding to understanding. Your knowledge binds you, understand? You think you're very smart. You think you know. And it leads to a division of what is originally a unified awareness into an observer who is separate from what is observed. See? Now they try to copy Krishnamurti, observer and the observed. Our fundamental unity with the matrix of the thus come one is unobscured. As it's obscured, as a bright sky is obscured by cloud. The emphasis to emphasize how unnecessary the division into self and others is, the Buddha relates a parable. A villager named Yanadatta runs through his village looking for his own head, which he foolishly thinks he has lost. Here he cannot see his own head. That time maybe no mirror. His head, of course, has been on his shoulder all along, just as that next sentence is very good. Just as your true money is within you, understand? Which we have forgotten is even so always accessible within us. Now you understand what the Buddha meant in that. That true mind is always there. That's why you need a form and mind to come. And when this form and mind arise, it can connect you back to that true mind, which is the gateway to your nature. Understand? So that's why it's like he used the analogy. You are looking for your head where there is no mirror to see. Your true nature is the same. I already told you, you think you can look it like a blank wall. Just one point inside there. And if nobody tells you that is within your heart area, you cannot find. Understand? It's very difficult to find. Oh, okay, we end here. Huh? So part 5, we will continue later. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, I mark this page. Okay, awareness-based meditation is very simple. What you need to remember is the 4 support that will help support you develop the awareness within. So first support is just relax body and mind. Completely relax. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything, just relax body and mind. Whatever stress or tension that you can detect within your body, physical or mental, just relax into it. Then after that, silence everything. Don't try to know means don't think. Don't try to do means no thought involved in whatever so-called doing or meditating. It's just completely silent. Then within you, without thought, there's an awareness nature that can let you develop the inner awareness before the knowing. So maintain the awareness within. The awareness within is just a nature. Aware, finish. Aware, silent. Then whatever arises, it can only arise through your 6 sense bases. Upon contact, whatever manifests, aware, finish. Don't even perceive or label and continue with the delusion. Whatever that move or create, that is the mundane aspect of the mind, not the true mind. The true mind, the true nature is just a pure awareness nature. It's just aware, finish. Then continue this training until it stabilizes. So third support is to stabilize this inner awareness nature. Then stay silent within to see it very clearly. Then inquire without thought. Who are you? Then completely relax, maintain awareness and silence. Then after you observe long enough, that pure awareness nature stabilize, then you will see the movement. How? From your curiosity or your thought process, the mundane thinking arises from that nature. From that nature that is completely without anything. No arising, no ceasing. Then how thought arises? See it. Then once you are able to develop this support, the first 3, and stabilize it, then you can do the 4th support. The fourth support is trust, Trust, trust your inner nature to develop the movement on its own. Means stay at the heart. Don't try to know, don't try to do. Then maintain the silent mind. And let it detect and move on its own. Whatever vibration, heartbeat, or any of the movement within the area, the moment it detects, stay with it, away, and let it move or manifest. Sometimes it becomes more and more quiet, even the heartbeat or whatever vibration, if you stay there without thought, it will become very quiet and very still. Then like everything ceases. Then for the first time in your meditation, you will realize the state of no thought. 无念的境界. That is the first hallmark of winning. When that one arises, don't be curious. Develop the understanding that this is beautiful. This is the first time you can realize your true mind, silent mind, without thought. Then continue to stay silent and let the pure awareness nature develop the understanding and the movement. Okay, with this, I will let you meditate on your own. Okay, you can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the mind state that can help you develop the stability of daily mindfulness and heedfulness. So it's very useful. Okay, now we go back to second session, which is the meditation reporting, followed by whatever question that you may have regarding our today's sharing or any part of the sutta that you want me to help you understand or explain. You can also ask. Then if you want to share whatever you have developed as understanding to help other Kayamita to also develop the understanding, you can. Dhamma in daily life.
Good afternoon, Brother,
yes.
and all Kayamitas. Brother, I have one question regarding meditation.
Okay.
How to say? During meditation, sometimes when we aware, sometimes I just not sure whether I'm in a state of aware or in a state of imagination like that.
Now, you just describe what happened.
I mean, how sometimes when I'm aware, then sometimes I will feel, is it I'm aware or I'm imagine I'm awareing like that,
In what sense? Because you have to describe what happened. What actually happened? Did you lapse into like unconscious, or your mind wanders off, or whatever? Because something will happen inside there.
Because sometimes it's like I don't feel anything already until I'm not sure whether.
Yeah, did you doze off? Like you blank off?
That's my question actually. Whether I'm conscious or I'm already dozed off like that.
You should know. Because the awareness that doze off, you will know. Then when you cannot maintain awareness also, you know a lot of thought, a lot of activity up there, then it's like not quiet and all those things. But you can like sense it slowing down, becoming more and more quiet, more and more still, then that is a good sign. Then sometimes because the body could be tired, need to rest, then it can lapse into the subconscious or unconscious. That is like doze off. It's okay, that one. Because that one normally it won't happen for long. When you rest enough, the awareness will come back to you again. Then sometimes you have the tendency to snore, then you will lapse into the subconscious and the unconscious, then you will start to snore. When you are not conscious, or you are maybe subconscious, or in the state of unconscious, then you got no control over your breathing. It becomes like natural flow. Then this breathing on its own, there will be constriction somewhere. Then it will trigger off that snoring sound or vibration that trigger off like there is a sound, snoring or whatever. Then let it happen. But that one will trigger off awareness. Then when it happens, normally one time or half a sound, you will be aware already. Then it will go off. But sometimes you're too tired, you really need to rest, then it becomes snoring. Oh, it going. And normally also for a few sounds, it will also stop because you become conscious or semi-conscious. Then you know that you have snore. But some people, when it happens for the first time, they don't know that they snore. When they snore, they are still unconscious or still not in the state of consciousness. They are not able to be in that state where they become conscious of their snoring. Normally it's like that. When the snoring takes place, the first sound, before it complete, that one will trigger off awareness. If you have maintained awareness, it will make you aware. Then the moment you're aware, it cannot continue already. Then it will stop. Then you continue to relax, maintain awareness. Then sometimes it will come again. Where initially, when you have not stabilized, the tendency to hear the snoring is there. But normally is half a sound or maybe slightly more than half, 3/4 or then you will be aware, then you will stay with the awareness. Then if you really tired and lapse into the subconscious or unconscious, then it will snore again. But what you are trying to describe is maybe you don't know what is happening to the mind, which is more like you are in between subconscious and unconscious, because you are not in the conscious state where you can be conscious, and yet you don't have the awareness that you are aware. So your mind is in a state of like, I wouldn't call it blank or what, because it's like you are going through that phase without your ability to be aware or conscious. So that two part is like gray area. But when you are aware, you will know, and actually inside there, the awareness that is aware, you will know. Then the awareness can be aware of a lot of things, whether snoring or thought movement or thought activity, or from the sense basis, the impingement. Like I remember when we started the meditation, there were a lot of external sound and vibration. Then you can hear them. If you want to know, you can know. But these are external. Where is the sense data that come in? So whatever arises, aware, finish. Don't follow. Don't go and create the thinking. Just let it settle, subside. Like arise, pass away. Arise, pass away. But awareness nature is capable of being awareness. Once it's aware, finish. Don't try to know. But initially cannot. where you are not trained, the thought will try to perceive that thing. Then you will try to think, you will try to verbalize, you will try to inside there chatter. Then you will try to be curious and all those things. Then after that you will look for things. That is the mundane mind, the thinking mind, that is always active. But the one that have the understanding will just relax into it. That's why I say whatever mind state arise, relax into it. Relax into it means don't try to know. Don't try to do anything, just silent. Then when your body tired, you will go into the sleep or what. Let it happen. Mindfully go into the sleep. Then if you can mindfully be aware and your body resting, that is the best. Means you can maintain awareness already. So you try to develop the alertness of the mind. Means pay attention. The attention is awareness actually. When you are attentive before you are knowing, before the thinking, the perception, the thought activity. Whatever that imprints on your sixth sense door, just aware, finish. Then train. So that this will help you decondition your habitual thinking. We are human beings think a lot, very habitual tendency. Every time the sense data come in, it will trigger off the thought process. Then the habitual like and dislike, reaction, movement. Then sometimes when it's tired, you will do certain thing, which is all habitual tendency. So you're supposed to be aware to understand all this behavior, to understand why you have this type of mental thinking, thought process or reaction or movement. Then you start to understand more deeply about the conscious thinking mind, the mundane mind, how through your habitual tendency you develop them, and how it make you maybe not able to be peaceful, or how it make you like suddenly it's like you are caught off guard, like something that you have no idea what it is. They say fear of the unknown. So this fear can arise. So fear sometimes can happen in many ways, because when that tactile sense data come in, or whatever that imprints your sense door, can be through your seeing or your hearing or your smell, taste or what, like pungent or what, then you react to it. And that is your habitual tendency. Then all those that can like caught you by surprise, like you suddenly like feel the unknown, that fear can suddenly arise, like suddenly a loud noise or a loud vibration or a very loud sense data that come in, that imprint upon your sense basis. Then sometimes it's through the thought, like you daydream. Then there is the phobia or fear. It will like wake you up. So all these are your subconscious and unconscious reaction. So whatever that trigger, as a living being, we can only develop understanding of who we are if we are aware. You don't have the inner awareness to see all this, you will not know why you go through all this. Well, that is called heedless living. When you are heedless means you think a lot, you hardly aware. But when you are heedful, you most of the time aware. And when you can be most of the time aware, you start to understand a lot of things. You start to see a lot of things. So just let that question be and ask yourself, how can you find out on your own? How can you investigate this? Means when you lie down, every movement you do, aware. Don't straight away go to the thought and let it think. That's why Kaya Nupassana is a good way to anchor your mind. When you are aware, you cannot think. So like you are in the sitting posture, the first awareness is that posture. Like the Buddha says, sitting aware. Then, if you stand up, all the movement activity, standing up, aware. Then, walking, aware. All the movement activity, no thought, just awareness and the Kaya movement as one. Then when you move your hand, develop awareness of it. You blink your eye, develop the awareness of it. Then when you nod your head, develop the awareness of it. Once you develop more and more awareness of your activity, Kaya, you will come to realize your thinking has become much less. Where you can only do one thing at a time. You can be aware, you cannot think. Just by you listening, you blink your eyes so many times, you nod your head so many times. Are you aware? If you are aware, then it's good. Then all your movement activity, you become sensitive. But when you develop more and more awareness, you become more and more sensitive. Means you think less already. That is the beginning of deconditioning your habitual thinking. Means you are training yourself to be aware most of the time. So aware, then stabilize this daily mindfulness. Then after that you realize everything you do, there is awareness on its own. Well, from the heedless way of living, you have trained yourself through Kaya Nupassana to anchor your awareness to all your activity of mind, movement. And that is how Kaya Nupassana is the first foundation of mindfulness to train living beings. So without Kaya Nupassana, it's very difficult to develop daily mindfulness. So train from your Kaya first. Then when you are in your formal meditation, you always remember the four support. Posture, then you silent, then you relax. Whatever happens, relax. Check body and mind. Are you relaxed? Or is there something bothering you? Then you want to try the mind sweeping method to check your body, whether you are relaxed or not. That will help, like what your wife went through. The mind sweeping method is to train yourself to be aware at the location you want. So you start with the forehead. Maintain attention there. Then feel. Any tension, any tightness, any stress within, just relax into it. Then feel yourself soothingly relax. If you continue to sweep, then your mind will be trained to listen to you. You want it to be at the forehead, it will stay at the forehead. You want it to be at the heart, it will be at the heart. You want it to sweep, it will sweep. That is what we say, training of the mind, to be aware of wherever you locate that mind. Then you have to let this mind do something. Feeling is very good. Let it feel. Any tension, any tightness, any stress within, just relax into it. Then whatever arises, also relax into it. You have to do all this. Then your meditation will progress gradually. And you will understand on. Well, as you develop more and more awareness, whether on your Kaya or mind sweeping method, or whatever activity, anapanasati, or whatever meditation object that you use to anchor your mind, you can use it. Even your posture, you can use it. Your heart, you can use it to anchor. Your breathing. So all these are foundation of mindfulness where you can anchor. There's sometimes sensation, like certain part itchy or not relaxed, disturbing you, means there is a distraction. So when there is a distraction, you're aware. then like what they call the 6R, you recognize that there is a distraction, whether it's pain or itchiness or whatever, or thought, thinking. Then you release it. You don't hold on to it. You release it. Release that distraction. Don't label it as unpleasant or restless or whatever. Just accept it for what it is. Relax into it. Release it. Then you can re-smile. Means smile. Develop the joy within. Then after that, the next R is to continue to repeat your mindfulness training, maintain awareness. Or what the 6R do is return to anapanasati. Every time there is a distraction, release it. Then return. Of course, they will ask you to do the re-smile. Then when you smile, just like the mind sweeping method, you combine with metta, you cannot like become unhappy. Because when you try to radiate a radiant smile, your mind will be happy. Otherwise, you cannot radiate that radiant smile. So, the skillful means to visualize yourself facing a mirror. Then you smile. Then you radiate, whether it's visualization or what, you radiate a radiant smile. When you visualize yourself in the smiling mode, you feel very good. There is joy, there is happiness. Otherwise you cannot smile. Then you radiate metta. May I, this body and mind of mine, be well and happy. Well and happy. Then you radiate this metta out to others. Your loved ones, your whatever friends or parents or people whom you like to extend or radiate this metta. Then to all your neighbors, to people of all direction. They call it the directional radiation. Then through visualization, you want to send metta to certain people specific to help them recover to good health or recover to well-being. You can also read it. Then after that, you have to learn to silence your mind, develop the ability to relax, and just maintain awareness. Whatever arises, aware. It can be any of the four foundations of mindfulness. Train until it becomes very clear to you. Then this so-called phase of doubt or question will pass. Okay?
Brother Teo, can you explain what is spiritual nature?
Okay. You see, you have to understand the karmic nature first. What is your understanding of karmic nature?
Karmic nature refers to law of karma.
Okay.
We reap what we sow, and
correct.
Yes.
That is the Dhamma part. But to describe that karmic nature, you have to understand that there are two words. Can you follow?
Mm-hmm.
First is, it is definitely related to karma. And the other word is nature. It's a nature. It's not a being. It's something stored up somewhere. Like nature's law accumulating is. Like you say, the law of karma, you reap what you sow, means all these are accumulated somewhere in the midst of nature. There is nature's law. So karmic nature means all of the things that is stored up and become your individual nature, where each and every one of us is unique. Every life we come, we maintain thought process. So since birth until now, the summation of all your thought process, which has karmic implication, means moral, unmoral, or neutral. And all this develop into a nature. That's why I say summation of all your segmented life thought process. Every segment, every of the thought process, you add it up. Then it becomes a nature which is unique to everyone. Because everyone, when you come as a segment, since birth until you die, every thought moment that you manifest and accumulate, it will have its karmic consequence. Then all this will store up and become a nature. That's why we call it the karmic nature. If you can understand this, then you will understand spiritual nature. The only different word is one is karma, one is spiritual practice. Understand? Everything that you cultivate to develop spiritual understanding, your virtue, your wisdom, your perfection, they are stored up in that spiritual nature.
So the bodhisattva vow will be stored in the spiritual nature.
Yes. And also all your perfection, your cultivation, like your virtue, loving kindness, compassion. But that one you have to develop it until it becomes your virtue, your sincerity, your kindness, and also your what they call truthfulness, satya. Then your patience, all your wholesome qualities, then your wisdom. All this will become your spiritual nature. Means the wisdom that you have developed, the virtuous thought and activity that you have developed and perfected. Then all the wisdom part of the cultivation that you have penetrated, especially those who take the Bodhisattva way. You have your Bodhisattva vow, you have your miscellaneous vow, your additional vow, then you have your extensive cultivation after the sainthood way. Means you locate the gateway, you manage to develop the understanding of the gateway cultivation, which is the cultivation of the spiritual nature. Means you develop until you can illuminate the spiritual nature, until you understand that true mind, that spiritual nature very, very well, inside out. Then after that you can develop the Bodhi mind that renounce samsara. Means by then samsara will be no more an issue to you. You have developed all the understanding. Then after that, from there, you keep on coming to train yourself, progress and fulfill your vow and perfect yourself until the 5th stage of Bodhi mind development, where you realize the 10th perfection of the Sammasambuddha cultivation. And that's how one finishes their cultivation of the Bodhisattva way to realize Sammasambuddhahood. So that spiritual nature, when it's completely developed, it becomes the Sambhogaya Kaya, spiritual body of the Buddha. Then when the Buddha take birth, which every Sammasambuddha can only develop one opportunity to do it, then that Sambhogaya Kaya will enter his physical body, the Nimana Kaya. Then he animated into a Buddha. That's why they call him the Sammasambuddha. And that third body is called the Dhammakaya, the Buddha body that teaches the Dhamma. That's why they call it Dhammakaya, the Trikaya, or the three bodies. Then not only the Buddha has that, every cultivator who has developed the spiritual nature also has that, except your last body is not the Dhammakaya. Because the last body is what you are. You have a Nimanakaya that is mainly conditioned by your karmic nature. That's why you are born of your kaya, heir to your kaya, conditioned and supported by your kaya, and you are what you are because of your karma. So that one is the karmic nature developing the outcome of what type of functional body you have when you come. So like this life, you call this brother Teo. This is my functional body that perform the function of my coming at this segmented life. So this physical body, before 1989, when my spiritual nature connect back and join, I am just like an ordinary human being with the karmic nature that is unique to me, and with some form of my spiritual nature also part of my karmic nature, which is the spiritual aspect of my good karma or wholesome karma. So that one will be the one influencing this Nimanakaya until 1989 when it connect. Then that spiritual nature come back and animate me into you call me Brother Teo. It's because my name is Teo, and we are Kayamita. That's why I also have this not Sambhogaya Kaya, but spiritual nature that I inherit. Then that spiritual nature that I inherit has the understanding. That's why this nature also can teach, can share. But you don't call this a Sammasambuddha. That's why you don't call this the Dhammakaya. This one is the third body, which is the result of my Nimanakaya, conditioned by my karmic nature, and my spiritual nature that come in. Then these two combine and animate this so-called Brother Teo into a form and mind that teaches whatever he understands. You can call it Dhamma or whatever. So this one, the only difference is the full perfection of Sammasambuddhahood. At the moment, this nature hasn't complete. That's why that is the big difference. Then how long it takes, it depends. So hopefully with this explanation, you have a better understanding.
Yes. Brother, I have another question. Some cultivators, they will say they have a special affinity with certain bodhisattva, certain Buddha. So that is also in the inherit from the spiritual nature.
Yeah. Because as you cultivate, you develop affinity. So affinity can manifest in many ways. Spiritual affinity, then it will go to the spiritual nature, understand? But if it's the normal affinity, most of the time is with the karmic nature, because your affinity with all these people, you don't know who are they, understand? Some is karmic debt, understand? You develop that karmic affinity. In Mahayana Mandarin, they call it 冤亲债主. Means that one come from your karmic debt. Means that one you have to pay back on. Is karma, karmically afflicted or inflicted one. So that type of affinity is different from what you are trying to develop as understanding through your persevere. You are talking about affinity with great beings. So great beings, there are many ways of understanding it. With great beings, sometimes you may not know who they are. They can be in lay form. Like when I was born and when I was around, even at the age of 35, 1989, when I connect. Then before 2004, hardly anybody know me. But if you have the affinity, you develop certain aspect of goodness and kindness just because your nature is kind-hearted, sincere. Then you can sense certain people. Then you genuinely help or develop the affinity. Sometimes people whom I may not really know them very well, but then suddenly they have acquainted with me or heard about me before. And sometimes in the early days, even before I came out, they were know that they were just like, go and pay my bill. Go and pay my bill. Then before they leave, they will drop by and greet me and say, well, Theo, nice to meet you. Then before he left, sometimes I can't even remember who. Then after he like try to remind me who he is. It's normally through somebody that they get to know me. Somebody like who came to know me through what I do. Means as a civil engineer, how I end up in this meditative thing. Then there was one Uncle Koo, he's a Christian, but he has been looking for meditation teacher for very long, until he learned Kung Fu and all that. Until finally one day he went to Brickfield to look for that teacher, which was my first Thai teacher, Ajahn. Then he asked around in the temple, Brickfield. Then these temple people, somehow they know that I'm very close to Reverend Mahinda, Sister Sumitra, and this monk, means Ajahn. He said, you go and look for Brother Theo, he said. He may help you. Well, they don't know when Acharya coming. They know he is coming. So he gave him my number. He called me. Then we talked for 3-4 hours. Then he was very excited. Then later he told me he's a Christian. Then when he finally met my teacher, he was full of joy. But he wanted to learn meditation. He was told by his Kung Fu master. He said, no matter how good you are as a Kung Fu master, you can fight 20, 30, which he can, and his master also can. But to a monk, a practitioner, a meditator, we cannot compare at all. You are nothing. So the teacher told him about a story which was long time ago. He said, when I was young like you, he told him, I was thinking I was one of the best around. Then he go and challenge everybody. Then one day, one of the also master told him, you think you very good. You challenge so many. Yeah, so far you still think you very good. But compared to a monk, you are nothing. A real cultivator. He don't believe. He wants to really confront one of them. So finally, this master also know of these two monks who are very good. He brought this Uncle Koo to the temple. Not Uncle Koo's master. He brought him to the temple. Then he said, I heard about you. I want to challenge you, he said. Then he said, this monk smiled and said, no need. Then they insist. And then he said, okay. Finally the monk said, okay, can. He said, you sit down there. He asked him to sit down there. He said, in 3 minutes time, you come in. You come and look for us. Then we will allow you to challenge me. He said, he sat there, eager to go and meet him. After less than 2 minutes, he can't even move. He can't even move. He tried and can't. Then finally, somebody came. You still want to fight or not? He gave up. He said, enough. Then he told Uncle Koo, move also cannot move. How to fight with them? That's why he ended up, he want to learn all this. So he want to learn Buddhist meditation. That's why he came to me. Then after that, it seems he know a lot of people. he also quite famous. He's also a good golfer. Yeah. Then later on, when he came to know me, he respected me a lot, of course. Then he introduced me to a lot of his high-level friends and his close friends. So one of them is, I think, MD of a business company, very famous, very big. He every year send me hamper, and I don't really know him, but then every time he go dinner or lunch or he see me, he will pay my bill. There are many, So this is how you develop affinity. You may not know who I am. Then I also got classmates who know that I am different. They very close to me and they like to be my friend. They used to tell me, he said, Theo, he said, real friends are hard to find. Sincere one like you one can become real. The rest are all business friends. Macau friend. It's very difficult to get one who is true and sincere. And they know. Then they like to take me for lunch, invite me to their open house, all those things. So these are weird, but they don't like Dhamma. They don't have much affinity. They listen, then after that they will tell me, you can ask me to do anything but not to meditate. He should sleep. They are so busy and they are very successful. So different people, the affinity come in different way. Where for me, my nature manifests the past so many years. 6 something already. Oh, I better end. Okay, I cut short. Maybe next time, got time, I share. I just come in the lay form. Then those who can sense it or have affinity with me in the past, they can recognize me. And they will know how to come and become my friend. And end up very close. Of course, Dhamma one also have, but not that many. So, what your question is, you will know as you cultivate, as you practice, you will know, like you and your husband, Brother Chan. You definitely got the affinity, otherwise you cannot look at me that way. And you cannot come to the house and do all these things. I cannot, no way. So all these are affinity. Well, nobody know me on. And the funny thing is, most of them told me, even the Singapore that somehow come to know me, they say they hear my video, YouTube video. From there, they look for me. So there are many ways, and different people have different affinity. They come in different way. So all this, as you cultivate, you develop more understanding. So good question, sadhu. So we end. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So whatever it is, we should develop the understanding that affinity will arise naturally if you are on the spiritual cultivation, the spiritual path. You will meet cultivator of the way in different manner, different form. Sometimes you don't judge them by what their appearance is. Never do that. Well, a lot are very simple, ordinary human being. For my mind, you have to learn to recognize this type of people. When you talk to them, when you meet them, when you encounter them, you will know. Even Pamasuri also said he had been looking for a long time ago, 20 over years. He cannot find. Then suddenly he met me. That time I not famous yet. Not many people know it. But deep inside she knows this is the one I'm looking for. That's why all the affinity just fall into place. So we share merit, transfer merit, then we end. Okay. Akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang adamoditva chirang rakantu loka sasana etavata cha amehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyate idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyateyo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyateyo devo asatukalena sasa sampati hetu cha Vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end.